Hey you, what up? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. It's Faves X Fails time here on the channel. It's a video that I conduct every month in which I talk about all of my favorite makeup products for the month. I slap them onto the face. I come prepared with meticulous notes, prices, everything you need to know about these faves. And of course, I also balance it out with my fails, aka products that did not work for me, products that are either too expensive or too gimmicky or just not great enough, okay? So I'm gonna present you with all of this information in this video. I hope you like it. I hope you are here for it. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. And let's hit it. Faves X Fails for the month of July. Here we come. I'm fresh out the shower. I just came back from a run, so my face is a little bit flushed, but that's okay. That's okay. I am also very prepared with my notes, as I always am, for my favorite video of the month, the Faves X Fails. So let's start with a very exciting category for me, brows. And the reason why it's exciting is because I have a new favorite brow product. I can't even believe I'm saying this right now, but this ARDELL brow glue at $7 or $8 is amazing. It works on my super unruly brows and it's a fave this month, okay? I'm gonna show you why. I was very concerned that this product went on kind of blue tinted like a lash glue, and of course it's from ARDELL, which makes some of the best lash glues. And yes, it does kind of come off blue at first, but once you're able to stick the brow to your skin and shape it to your desire, the blue kind of disappears. It dissipates and it just dries clear. But what's most impressive about this product is that it actually lasts. Oh my god. This has got to be one of my new favorite brow products. It's so easy to use. It gives you just a little bit of playing room, enough playing room actually, to really stick on the brow and to fix it in the way that you would want to fix it. My one criticism about this product is that it does come with an extra brush and like a spoolie kind of thing, which is cute, it's handy, but unfortunately it's not attached to the actual product, the component. And so, as I said in my initial video of trying this product, I said I was gonna lose it that very day, and of course I did. So I no longer have it. I have no idea where it is, and that's a little bit of a drawback for me, but that's okay because I have other tools and I can easily use a spoolie or like a little metal shaper like this to create whatever shape I want. So right now I'm just gonna go for a classic type of brow. I want it to be clean but glued down, and I've never seen my brows this flat to my skin, this glued down, this quickly and this easily. It just doesn't happen to me because my brows are very coarse, they're black in color, they're dense, and so typically they need a lot of work in order to really hold that shape. But here I could even glue it down with my finger if I want to. And like I'm talking through this video, I'm explaining to you as I'm talking, so naturally this is taking a lot more time than it would if I were just silent in front of my mirror. And still, look how much playing time it's giving me. I can still maneuver the hairs into their desired place. That's really impressive to me. And the blue tint is gone. So now there is a little bit of residue with this product, kind of like around the temple area, but you can easily just take micellar water on a Q-tip, wipe it off, and you're good to go. Amazing product. Amazing, amazing product. I'm here for it. All right, I'm gonna quickly finish up the other brow. Bomb. Bomb. Bowie. I should probably stop talking to him, but I can't. He's my bomb. Okay, brows are set. They are looking so fresh and so clean. And now I'm gonna move on to another favorite in the brow category. I know, shocker. The MAC Pro Brow Definer 1mm tip brow pencil. I've been using this one in the shade Spiked, which is a brown black. I really love how tiny and precise it is. I love how soft it is. There's not a lot of product, that's my only criticism, but for what it does, you really don't need a ton of product. All I'm gonna do with this one is just fill in some of the areas that I want to look a little bit fuller. So a little bit here in the front, but mostly in the back to extend my tail end, to fill in any gaps, and just to create a more balanced look between my two brows. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do to this brow. Pretty much the same thing to this one, but obviously strategically placing the strokes where they need to be placed. Kind of like that, and brows are done. So this one is $24, and I would say this is up there with the Huda Beauty pencil. I usually use a marker, the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen, but honestly, if I don't want to be that precise, if I don't want to use a marker, I will absolutely reach for this. This is just as good, just a slightly different technique, but amazing. And I love the shade Spiked. Such a perfect shade if you have darker brows or cooler brows like I do. This just gives it that balance between my brown hair and my black brows. Okay, next. In the failed category, as much as I love the MAC Pro Brow Definer, I hated the MAC Pro Brow Gel. And not because it was a bad product, just because it didn't work for me. I said here in my notes that it's just not for coarse hairs. I gave it to my sister because my sister, even though she has full brows, her brow hairs themselves are much, much finer than mine. So if you have finer hair, just like finer hair on your head versus coarser hair on your head, the MAC Pro Brow Gel will hold finer type of brow hairs versus coarser type of brow hairs. So not a complete fail, just a fail for me, just putting it out there. All right, moving on to the face, starting with primer. I have just a couple of products in the primer category that I've been loving. Number one is this CATRICE $8 Skin Glaze Hydrating Serum Primer. This one is a no-brainer. You do have to shake it though, and I always forget to shake it, but it has this beautiful pearlescent finish. It does feel extremely hydrating, like a primer, like a serum rather. And this is great because it has squalane, so it will hydrate your skin, but it also give it that little bit of luminescence, that healthy glow. I don't know if you guys can hear, there's all these sirens, there's like a lot going on in the background, but maybe you can't hear, and maybe it's just me. But sometimes when I hear it, I feel like it's distracting to you, and so I must take a pause and I must address it. Anyway, the next favorite product that I love in the primers, serum, bronzing drops category is actually the Sun Drip from CALIRAY. This is probably the one and the only one bronzing drops type of product that, in my opinion, actually works and is not gimmicky. So this is, let's see, $28, worth the price in my opinion, because this actually looks skin perfecting on the skin. All the other bronzing drops that I've tried are so gimmicky, they're so patchy, they make the skin look dirty, they make it look worse than before. I actually don't get it. The only way to make those work is if you literally need your foundation shade to be a little bit more tan or slightly deeper, so they're good for kind of like deepening or warming up your foundation. But other than that, I don't get it. It's like really not the best concept, if you will. These on the other hand, and I say these because I'm thinking drops, this bronzing serum drops is the best. Look how smooth it looks on my forehead. It actually does the job. It makes my forehead look more tan, more bronzy, but it doesn't make it look dirty. It doesn't make it look patchy. And you know what? I actually have a couple of breakouts on my forehead, tiny little ones, but this blends out so smoothly. It's shocking actually how smoothly it blends out. This just gives that perfect California beachy glow. It doesn't look orange or fake. It's just perfect, the perfect shade, not too much. It's a universal shade, so this will work for any skin tone. It'll just make you look a little bit more golden and bronzy, literally. Whether you are fair or deep toned, this will absolutely work on anyone and everyone. Look how nice. And mind you, my skin isn't even the best. I have texture issues from time to time. I'm oily, I have enlarged pores, I have some acne scars, you know? So if this looks good on me, imagine how it will look good on you. Especially if you don't have texture issues or whatnot. So to me, this is a fave, it's a hit, it's a no-brainer. You can mix it in with your moisturizer, with your foundation, wear it alone. I will even say it applies better with your fingers than with a brush because you can really warm it up and place it exactly where you need to. But essentially, this is the bronzed up base. On the contrary, I recently tried the Milani bronzing drops. I don't have them anymore, I gave them away, but I'll pop them up for you. They look just like the Drunk Elephant drops, like all of the drops that are supposed to be bronzing. I believe those are $17 and they were absolutely a fail for me. They looked very, very dirty on my skin tone. They made my skin look worse on its best day. And it's not even Milani's fault, to be honest with you. It's not even that their product is so bad. It's that they're all bad in my opinion. They're all extremely gimmicky with the exception of CALIRAY. That's just been my experience with bronzing drops, and that's just what I see whenever I see it on TikTok, and I just see these like Gen Z TikTokers raving about them and applying them onto their skin. I see the before and after, and I'm not blind. I'm not blind. Moving on. Let's talk about foundation. Okay, in the foundation category, I actually have a skin tint that I've been loving this month. It is from FENTY Skin. Shade 4 is what I've been using. So this is a mineral, not chemical, SPF Hydra Vizor Hues tint. So now there is a Hydra Vizor Hues, or rather a Hydra Vizor sunscreen that is also mineral. Originally it was only chemical, now it comes in mineral, as well as the Hues, which is the tinted version, and it's great. It's been working amazing. I love how this looks on the skin. I love that it is mineral, so it's great for sensitive skin like mine, for acne prone skin like mine. The only problem, of course, as always, is the packaging. This just doesn't make any sense. If I put this pump all the way down the way that I'm supposed to, I will release product product and it'll get inside of this component, and I don't want to do that because I don't like to be messy. So that's always a problem with Fenty's packaging, in my opinion, especially the refillable packaging. It just doesn't make too much sense. It's not that intuitive. But outside of that, the product is great. All right, I'm gonna apply just a little bit all across. And now this does have SPF 30, which is good, but you would need a whole lot more product for it to actually be 30. I'm gonna be using it sparingly because I actually like how it looks when it's used sparingly. It just looks glowy, healthy, it evens out the skin tone. But I wouldn't actually recommend wearing something like this on a daily basis in the summer without additional higher SPF underneath. If you want to wear this product minimally, the way that a skin tint is meant to be worn, you probably need to double up on the SPF. I'm just saying. So yesterday I wore this to the beach, but of course I had my 50 underneath. All right, so now I am looking extra, extra, extra bronzy, like way bronzier than I need to be, but trust the process, it'll all come together. This I promise you. Also, another thing that I like about this skin tint is the dew. It literally looks very, very dewy. It doesn't look metallic at all, but what's cool about it is that it's not very sticky, so it almost doesn't need to be set. I will of course set some areas, but I will actually leave some areas wet because I really like the way that it looks and feels. Damn, this bitch is bronzy. But you know what, 'tis the season and I'd rather be bronzy than pale. Okay, moving on to the next fave this month. I am loving two concealers. One from DANESSA MYRICKS, the Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer. I am using shade 5 for the under eye. And I actually gotta get my hands on a few more shades because although shade 5 works for brightening, I wouldn't necessarily use this for covering up spots. I definitely need to get my hands on a few more shades. But what I love about this specific concealer, 30 bucks is the price. The packaging is so cute and so gorgeous. This is one of those unique concealers that actually becomes one with your skin. This is one of those products that feels like second skin. I never ever use that type of description. I feel like those are just some strong words, too strong of words to be using for makeup, but in this case, it actually makes sense. This blends out so seamlessly and so easily while offering the coverage, or in this case, brightness, but it melts in such a way that it almost doesn't look like makeup. So I just want a little bit of brightness on my chin. I want a little bit of brightness around my nose area, obviously under the eyes. And I will say this is probably the perfect concealer to do that with. It is very friendly on texture and pores. It doesn't enhance anything. It gives you enough playing time without staining your skin like some concealers tend to. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous product, actually. This is a brush that is meant for this concealer. It doesn't actually come together with it, but the brush is really soft and perfect. I love the fingertip shape. Honestly, I can't complain. And you saw how bronzy I just was a few minutes ago. Look how just a little bit of brightness in certain strategic areas can balance out the face, can just give the right amount of bright, lift, everything you need to your complexion. Now suddenly it's coming together. Big fan of this formula. Really, really, really nicely done. But I'm also not surprised because it is DANESSA MYRICKS after all, and she is a genius. Oh, I also have to give an honorable mention to the RIMMEL Multitasker Concealer. I believe I included it in my favorites last month or the month before, but I'm not so sure, so I just wanted to bring it up again. This is an incredible concealer from the drugstore at a fraction of the cost of all the much more expensive concealers. This honestly feels like Tarte Shape Tape, and if you are a lover of Tarte Shape Tape, you will love this RIMMEL Multitasker Concealer. It is wonderful, and the shade that I use is shade Ivory. I know, confusing name because Ivory in my mind is probably one of the lightest shades, but this is actually shade 40, so there's several shades below shade Ivory, just to let you know. Love this one as well. I've been using this one a lot actually. But for concealing my spots, I'm gonna go for my trusty Tinted. This is probably my favorite concealer for spot correction. It just has the right undertone. It has the right amount of coverage for concealing spots. It can sit on your skin for a while. It is very flexible. I don't love it as much in the under eye as say the Yummy Skin, but for spots, this is just perfect. This is ideal. Again, this also comes off as second skin, and I've just been a fan for a long time. In fact, I did a partnership with them last year because I love the product so much. And you know what? It is still a fave, and I'm still reaching for it all the time. All right, gotta quickly buff out those spots. And boom, suddenly, she looks clean, she looks put together. You guys, this next product that I'm about to mention in the faves category is incredible. I don't know what is in this thing, but this Too Faced bronzing contouring stick smells like delicious hot chocolate, but it performs just as delicious. The creamiest formula I've tried in a long time. Really flattering shades, so easy to use. This is the best product to snatch your jawline, your nose, your cheeks, your forehead, whatever needs snatching, this is the product to do it with. It is insane how good this is, actually. So the shade that I've been reaching for is shade Chocolate Mousse, which is a little bit on the cooler side, but not too cool. Perfect, actually. Just the perfect amount of cool and bronze. And I'm gonna use my old Pixi collab brush. This is for my first collab with Pixi, just to buff this out into my hairline ever so seamlessly. Obviously, I don't need any more bronze, but I'm just showing you how freaking wonderful this product is. And I did see that this product was going viral on TikTok, and a couple of virally type of influencers talking about it. You know what? They weren't lying. This is an insane, incredible product. See how easy? Peasy. On the other hand, unfortunately, I did not love the Catrice face palette that is meant for bronzing, sculpting, blush, and highlight. It's supposed to, I don't know if it's supposed to actually, but it kind of looks like the Makeup Forever HD Skin palette, but at a fraction of the cost, at like $8 or whatnot. So really, really very inexpensive. And I would have loved this product for the price and all, but unfortunately, in my notes I wrote, I don't actually like their choices. And what I mean by choices is I don't like their color choices. I don't like the fact that there were two bronzy shades, not one sculpting shade, but two very warm bronze shades. One that's like a tan to chocolate, and then another one that's like a deep chocolate, dark chocolate. The blush shades were okay, but then we had these like two highlighters that were very close in tone. So I would have made different choices for this kind of palette because the product itself is actually not terrible. It's decent enough, especially for $8, but just the colors themselves. I wish they would have added a cool sculpting shade, one bronzing shade, maybe one blush, maybe one skin tone shade, like an ochre, like a mixing shade, something like that would have been a little bit more helpful, I guess. It would have been a little bit more intuitive. But anyway, I already got rid of my fails. I don't keep products around for too long, so I'll just pop up a picture of what it looks like. I did mention in my previous video, it is okay, not an epic fail, but I would have made different choices. That's all. Let's talk about blush, because it's a big category. 'Tis the season for blush. Everyone is producing blushes. Everyone and their mom is coming out with blushes, and we're here for it. But you know what? There's a lot of choices to be made. There's a lot of variety, and so I want to tell you what the best are, in my opinion. This month, my most used one, my most reached for blush is the new Huda Beauty blush filter, specifically in the shade Strawberry Cream. This one is incredibly versatile, just like a very flattering shade on anyone. I like that it has this tiny little dotting tool, if you will. Blends out super, super easily. I really love this specific shade for how flattering it is on most skin tones. It is $21, which is really not bad. You do get a decent amount of product, I mean, for real. And a little bit of product goes a long way. This blends out super, super seamlessly, rather easily, as you saw. No staining. This does have a really fun berry-like scent. Fortunately, my brush is shedding. But really, this is great for every day. If you just want a little bit of a complexion pick-me-up, this is great with any lip color, really, because it's such a flattering rosy tone. This would be great with a red lipstick, because it wouldn't necessarily compete. It is subtle enough. You can apply a little bit or a lot. So I would say this is a safe but beautiful, beautiful blush. Another fave, however, I gotta give it to RHODE and Haley. This pocket blush is just so cute. The colors are so beautiful, so trendy, so flattering. My favorite shade, I would say, is definitely the Spicy Marg. Because first of all, I love me a Spicy Marg. In fact, I had a couple last night. One of my friends is in town from LA, and so, you know, we had a little moment. But yeah, I do love this blush. I love the color. It's like the perfect color of summer. I'm gonna use the same brush to blend it out. What I like about this one is that it's quick, it's easy, it's right to the point. I like that it's creamy. I like that the stick itself is kind of on the thick side, and for someone like myself who has very large cheeks and wide cheekbones, this is preferred because then I can just apply the product exactly where I want it and blend it out quickly. As opposed to a tiny little applicator that's a little bit more precise, that would take a lot more product and a lot more blending for me personally. But this is still very easy. I'm just making a comparison, if you will. Anyway, both are gorgeous. The spicy mark just added so much flavor to my look, which is not even a look, but after the blush, it's kind of a look, right? Next up, in the powder category, I actually have a favorite powder this month. This might be a really good month in makeup, honestly, but this glass powder from the brand RHODIAL, which I believe is an English brand, but it is available on Amazon. This powder is really unique and different. So because it has these reflective properties, or particles rather, it does create that optical illusion. It makes your pores, your fine lines appear less prominent. So that's a plus. Also, it does an amazing job of setting the skin without totally mattifying it, but instead by giving it this very realistic, very skin-like finish. So I'm a fan. You don't actually need a lot of product. I just picked up a tiny bit and put it in the back of the cap. And basically, I'm just gonna use this on my points of interest, obviously to set my under eye and concealer because there's movement there. Around the nose, because that tends to crease on me very, very quickly. I'm also just gonna pat the pore zones and the top of the cheeks, top of the lids, and kind of like close to the mouth, just the center of the face area, in between the brows. And look at that difference. Look how beautifully, naturally matte that looks compared to this side, which is glowing. It's good, but you could see that it's just a little bit oilier than good, you know? It's just a little bit oilier than good. But this product takes care of it, and it kind of just brings back that natural, healthy finish. I will say, this baby ain't cheap. This tiny little package is $35, you guys. And the big one is even more, it's $60. So if this was a little bit cheaper, if this was like $25 and $45, I would feel a little bit better recommending it, and I would be like, yo, everyone needs to go out and get this. But, you know, because I realize that this is pricey, I need to put it into that category. So this would be a splurge item that definitely works. It is definitely worth the money, but do you need it if you don't have oily skin or if you don't have open pores, acne scars, fine lines, or imperfections? Probably not. You could probably get away with like a Laura Mercier or One Size or a Huda, whatever. Or whatever it is that you're currently using, you could probably get away with using it. But for those of us who are oily, for those of us who have texture issues at times, or at all times, this is something different. This is something that I found to be different on me, and I like the difference that it brings, you know? Bowie, I'm gonna put you on camera, buddy. Oh my God. This is Bowie. What happened to the vocals? You were serenading me and now you stopped now that you're on camera. I love you with the juicy bunny, you're such a good boy. Okay, Bowie. No more crying, okay, baby? And you know what? I'm gonna do that every time my cats scream. I'm gonna put them on camera. I'm gonna put them on blast. Where was I? Ah, yeah, so the face is now nice and set. I think we should move on to, something very exciting. Let's move on to the highlighter category. In my opinion, there is only one highlighter that belongs in the faves category this month, and it is the one and only Major Glow from Patrick Ta. This is an incredible product that I personally am obsessed with. I love it. I think it is incredibly innovative and different, unique, super cool, but apparently not everyone agrees with me. I think perhaps it's because they don't understand the product, or maybe they don't know how to use the product necessarily, but I'm gonna show you one more time how I use it and why it's a fave for me. In this packaging, it's a dual product, which is $40 by the way. You have cream on top. I wouldn't actually identify it. I wouldn't describe it as a cream. I would call it a gloss. And you also have a fine finish micro powder, which isn't the most reflective powder, if I'm honest. So if you're looking for blinding, this isn't gonna give you blinding. This is something totally different, like I said. So let's actually show you what I mean, if I can find a brush. All right, here we go. This is the Laura Lee Los Angeles L35 brush. So this one, Shade Sugar, has been my most reached for because it's the most neutral one and it just goes with everything. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight my brow bone, my cheekbone, my temple, just this whole entire area. But of course I'm gonna avoid the brow. So you see how this is very subtle. Like, it's giving glow for sure, but it's not that blinding 2016 glow. No, no, no. This is almost skin-like. And you know what? You could leave it at this. You could. And I think intuitively, a lot of people are using the cream product first, thinking that it's a cream, not thinking that it's a gloss. They're using the cream and then they're setting it with the powder. And this is not how Patrick meant it. This is not his technique. His technique is actually the opposite. He applies the powder first, and then with a sponge, he applies the gloss. So now that I have my desired amount of powder, I'm gonna take a tiny bit on this very small sponge, and I'm just gonna glaze it right on top. And do you see how it just transformed the whole look? It gave it this wet finish, this beautiful editorial, that European summer type of glow, you know? This is especially great if you have your hair up on a hot, humid day, like the ones we've been having here in New York. If your hair is up and away from your face, this is the product to use because no one would ever think to use this on such a hot, humid day and be this glowy and not greasy, okay? This is why it's a fave. It is different from everything else. It's a particular special technique that is unique to Patrick Ta himself. And you know what? The amount of compliments I have gotten on my makeup when I wear this specific product, that alone just tells me how good this product is because I don't typically do anything different when I go out, but with this one product alone, it seems to make a drastic difference. Just saying. All right, let's move on to eyes. Ooh, cat hair everywhere. I wonder why. My most favorite palette this month is hands down the ColourPop Precious Metals. This is a large format palette with 36 shades, all in the golden family, but there is a mauve section here, there is a cool section here, and there's a lot of golden bronzy tones on the side. So this palette, I believe, is 35 bucks, which is really inexpensive. It's less than $1 per shade, and all of these are extremely universal and extremely user-friendly, usable shades. And so today I'm gonna use one of these shades. Just one, because I have a very specific look in mind for today. I wanna do just a cool wash of color. I'm gonna pick up this Wayne Goss brush. I'm gonna do this shade right here. Own It, just like a cool mauve, if you will. Just gonna apply that very close to my lashes and wash it out, like that. Just a very subtle little base. Nothing too crazy. And then I'm gonna pick up the shade Get Your Coin. This looks like a nude shimmery shade, which is a very necessary shade to have in your arsenal. I'm gonna pop that in the center just for a little brightness. The metallic shades in this palette are incredible actually. They're super, super bright. They're long lasting, which is important. And there's enough variety for every preference in here. Okay, so that's all I'm doing, just like a little bit of a pop. I think this palette pretty much speaks for itself. It's gorgeous, it's wearable, it's versatile, it's usable, and it's 35 bucks. It's a no-brainer. The reason why I did this very, very subtle, but kind of like effective little eye base is because I really want to talk about this CoverGirl Eye Enhancer Mascara in the shade Berry Brown. So this is a really unique brown shade that has a little bit of red, almost like a wine undertone. And to me, this has been my favorite mascara of the month just because of this unique shade that I've never really seen before. Most certainly not from a drugstore brand like CoverGirl. But because this color is so unique and fresh, I really just wanted to let it shine. Kind of against the barely there lid, you know? So notice I didn't curl my lashes because this mascara is also supposed to give that curve to your lashes, which is better if you don't curl prior, but it does a great job on the tone. Look at that. The color is so striking. I even feel like it makes my eye color look a little bit more exotic. Like not just like a plain doo-doo brown, but like a chocolate mahogany brown, you know? I'm gonna quickly finish up this eye. Another thing I like about this mascara is that it is incredibly buildable, which is why I keep on building the lashes and making them longer, more feathery. But look how pretty. You can even see when I turn to the side just how pretty that color is. Even from far away you can tell. I'm a fan. Big time fan. Sadly, I can't say the same thing about the Nude Sticks mascara with the Give Beauty wand. That's what I wrote in my notes. That mascara was just not doing anything for me. Moreover, the gimmicky wand with a little ball-shaped brush at tip was weird. I don't really get it. And for 28 bucks, I wouldn't recommend it. Of course, I got rid of it already. So we're gonna slide right by, back into the faves category, and to the lips. Specifically, I want to bring up the KOSAS lip liners. These are excellent quality. I really like the shades, although they do not match the shade that is on the actual packaging, which is a little bit of a drawback for me personally, but not a deal breaker, because obviously the product is great and I'm recommending it. So what's cool about this is that you get a lot of product, first of all. And I've done this on camera in my previous video. This pencil just keeps going and going and going and going. It's thicker than most pencils. And what's great is that it actually comes with a little brush and also a sharpener, so you can get a fine tip. So I think this is a really generous amount of product. This is $22 only. I think that's pretty fair for what you get. A pencil, a brush, and a sharpener. And look, it's still going, and it's taking a while, and it's still going. Okay, it stopped. To me, that's pretty impressive. And so because of that, they've earned their spot on my faves list this month. KOSAS is a brand that I didn't really get at first, or I guess their first initial few launches weren't up my alley, but now I'm finding myself gravitating towards their products big time. Like, I'm finding so many favorites. I love, love, love their lip products. I'm obsessed with their concealer. So good for dry skin, by the way. And now these lip liners, just excellent. All right, so I'm gonna use this shade called Beyond, which is like slightly mauvier than a nude, but still in the nude family. I'm gonna outline my lips as I always do. This is the perfect pencil for outlining because it actually has a little bit of grit, so it gives more volume to the lips because there's substance on the product. It doesn't feel like second skin. This is the opposite of second skin. This is literal product on your lips. And if you're someone who loves overlining like I do, this is what is useful. A lip liner with actual solid product that gives your lips that extra bulk, you know? All right, so now I'm gonna use the brush and kind of smudge everything inwards. So good. And now for my final fave, I have a gloss. I finally have a gloss that I love, and it's from the one and only Armani, and it is their Prisma Gloss. This one right here. So this is $38 on the pricey side, but this is the closest to a traditional gloss without the stick, without the goop, without the stringy little nasties. I love the shades. These two are my favorite. Shade 02 and shade 03. Okay, I'm gonna use shade 03 today because I feel like it goes better with my look, but shade 02 is bomb. Also, look at this color payoff. This is the perfect amount of gloss to pigment. It's still sheer enough to show through the lip liner or whatever lip color you have on, or even your bare lips, but it adds just the right amount of color to give it the color. I am thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly obsessed with this. This is beautiful. So comfortable on the lips. Honestly feels like a lip oil, but it's so much better than a lip oil. I'm a fan, just saying. And one more product I wanted to mention, I almost forgot to mention it, is the Rimmel Kind and Free eyeliner. I was gonna say lip liner, but no, this is an eyeliner. This is like $6 or $7. It is a clean product, and this specific shade, shade Pecan, is the most perfect black brown ever, especially for every day. So I'm just gonna define my outer corner ever so slightly. I'm gonna pull it out in the tiniest, most subtle way. If you need a great pencil liner, this one is it. It's perfect for every day. It is inexpensive, it's clean, stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. And the shade is what really, really sold me. All right, so here is my final look. My hair is now, I would say, 75% dry. So once I'm finished with this video, I'm gonna go blow dry it. But honestly, I gotta say, I really like my summery, fresh-faced, glowy, trendy, but clean and classic kind of look. That's what I was going for today. And I feel like I was able to achieve it using all of my favorites for the month. Let's talk about everything. The skin, outside of the cat hair, the skin is skinning, okay? The glossy cheek is definitely popping. I am loving that little bit of a contrast between the gloss and also the color. I like how everything is meshing together so well. I love how bronzed up my skin looks, but how natural it looks at the same time. I love how brightened up my under eye area is. I like the skin finish actually, and I never ever really say that, but the skin finish is perfected, though it's not super matte and it's not super makeup-y. And this is probably due to the fact that this powder is really unique and different. I really love the lashes. I love my eye look. I love the lip look. The brows, oh, I am just obsessed with the brows. Now, honestly, I'm here for this. This is a great look. All of these products cooperated. All of them are unique and different in their own right, and I would recommend them all. This was a really, really good month in makeup. I tried out a lot of high-end makeup, also a lot of drugstore makeup, some that didn't work for me, and that's okay, but this is what these videos are about, and I hope you guys continue watching them, continue looking forward to them, sending me all your comments and positive vibes. I really, really appreciate you watching this video and making it to the end. So with that, I am gonna send you all of my positive energy, all of my good wishes, my best thoughts, so that you have an awesome and productive week. I love you guys. I will see you in the next one. Peace out. I'm out. Deuces. Faves X Fails is done, and I'm out.